Hey guys, what's going on? Frank Rich here, Rebuild Recovery. And in today's video, I want to give you the 5-step process that you can use the next time you relapse, the next time you slip up, the next time that you return back to your old patterns of behavior, to help you understand and identify why did this relapse happen? Where did the fork of the road split? And what do I need to do to prevent myself from relapsing again in the future and ultimately living a porn-free life 100% for good and for all. But before we jump into today's video, guys, let me remind you who we are and what we do here. My name is Frank Rich, CEO, founder, and head coach at Rebuild Recovery, and it is our mission to help men break free from the shackles of porn addiction through the power of faith and fitness. Now, we do that in a handful of different ways. First off, right here on the Rebuild Your Life YouTube channel, we are releasing new videos every single day, Monday through Friday at this point. So if you're new to the channel and haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. And also turn those post notifications on so you are notified every single time a new video is released. And secondly, if you guys are in the early stage of trying to identify all the ways in which porn has had a negative impact on your life, and you're curious about what life can look like for you once you're able to remove this destructive habit out of your life, make sure to download our free ebook. It's the 7-step guide to living life without porn, where I walk you through the exact process and system that you use with our students and clients here at Rebuild Recovery, and how to identify all the ways in which porn is negatively impacting your life. How to then take that and build a proactive plan to get you out of the depths of this addiction and step into the life that you were created to live. But most importantly, what do you need to do to build up the discipline? What do you need to do to create the willpower and actually execute upon your plan every single day so you can make this a reality by quitting porn, rebooting, and rewiring your brain, become the man that you were created to be. So that's a 7-step guide to living life without porn. I'm going to link it down there in the first pinned comment below. So after today's video, guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to visit the page and download the book. But let's get back to today's video, guys. The 5-step process, that you can use the next time you relapse, that you use the next time you slip up, so you don't have to keep falling back into this relapse recovery cycle, and ensure that you can live a porn-free life for good. So what we need to realize is our behavior, our habits, our actions, a lot of it is happening at the unconscious level. There's things that are occurring on a daily basis that we are not in 100% control of. And many times, depending upon how long we've been dealing and struggling with this addiction, we find ourselves unconsciously, just based upon patterns, triggers, we've programmed and wired ourselves to need pornography in certain situations to help us deal with stressful moments, to help us deal with escaping the reality, not being able to really live in the present moment. So we use this as a crutch, we use this as a pacifier, we use pornography as an escape. This process that we go through, what we need to understand is we need to take back control of the conscious habits, the conscious behavior that have led us up to pornography. So relapse is not going to happen without work. Relapse is not going to happen without us understanding our own self-awareness, without understanding what drives us to pornography, what are better alternatives, what can we do to prevent things from happening in the future. So that's what this process is all about. It's about equipping you with an understanding. It's about upping your level of awareness so you understand this is what leads me down the path of relapse. This is what leads me to be triggered to pornography. These are the emotional states that I'm typically in, and these are the better things that I need to be doing the next time I'm faced with that situation. So this is not something you just do at once. This is not something that you watch this video and you'll never have to deal with a trigger. You'll never have to deal with the urges. This is a tool. These are real-time strategies that the next time you relapse, you can go through these 5 steps to get a deeper level of understanding of you, to get a deeper level of understanding of your environment, to get a deeper level of understanding of what actually drives you to viewing pornography. So the first step that you need to do the next time you relapse, so this will be post-relapse. So you find yourself in a stressful situation, you gave into it, you gave into the temptations, the urges got control of you, you caught yourself, you're here, you now watch porn and gone through your whole process, and now you're dealing with the guilt and shame. And you're like, God, why do I keep doing this? What do I need to do in the future to prevent this from happening? So this strategy, this process will be what you do immediately following that next relapse. So the first thing you need to do, and this will be done in a journal, so you need to find a quiet place, maybe remove yourself from the current environment that you're in, go outside for a walk, allow you to process, go to a coffee shop, go to a quiet library, somewhere where you can really spend some time in deep thought and meditation with your journal and go through these 5 steps, writing out the answers, writing out this process. So the first step you need to do is you need to return to the moment right before the relapse. Return to the moment where you were emotionally, where you were mentally, where you were physically. What was the environment? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Where was your energy at? Were you dealing with a lot of stressful situations? Really get clear on the environment. Get clear on the situation. Get clear on your internal environment, on where you were right before the relapse. So it's almost as if we're taking a time machine back in the past and we're planting ourselves in that moment. And the more real that this moment can be, the more that you can really feel the experience, the more that you can really feel those thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you were dealing with at the time, the better you'll be able to go through the rest of this process. So step one is to return back to the place where you were immediately upon relapsing. The second step is you need to identify what the trigger was. So here's what we need to realize is there was a split in time. There was a moment where you were going down the path, whether you're in our program or you're in any of the other programs out there, or you're just trying to do this with some accountability partners. There was a moment in time where you were walking down the road and you were going in this direction. This was the direction of living a porn-free life, of fully rebooting, fully recovering from this addiction. And the split occurred, okay? And you chose the alternative path. You chose to return back to your previous patterns of behavior. So we need to identify what that trigger was. What happened to trigger it? Was it the way that somebody spoke to you? Was it a rejection from your wife, or rejection from your spouse or partner, or another woman that you made a pass at? Was it just you were overwhelmed with stress and work and you just didn't have proper tools to bring your autonomic nervous system down? Was it, just you got in an argument with somebody at work? Whatever it was, there was a trigger, there was a moment in time where the fork in the road split. The next step, once you've identified what that trigger was, is to get clear on how the road split. What was the actual wrong decision that was made? So return to the environment, get clear on the trigger, and then where did you make the decision? Where did you make the choice to take the wrong path? Where did you make the choice to go in the wrong direction? And here's where the accountability and responsibility lays on you, is you have to understand that relapsing, that going backwards, that the returning to porn was a choice that you made. And identifying what that choice ultimately was will be one of the strongest foundational tools that you can build to help your recovery, to help you from not relapsing and recovering again. So step one is we need to return to the place and time where we were when we relapsed. Number two is get really clear and identify what the trigger was. And step three is identify what the choice was that I made that led me down this path of relapse, slipping up, and returning to porn. The fourth step is going to be to come up with a plan. What would have been the better alternative? So in the fork of the road splitting and you choosing to go the one way as opposed to staying on the path, what would have been the better alternative? What real-time tool would it have been? A change of environment? Would it have been calling your coach, calling your accountability partner, reaching out to somebody, doing a gratitude practice, tapping into some breathing? There's a real-time strategy. There's something that you could have done in that moment to keep you from returning back. There's something that could have been done in that moment to keep you moving forward on the right path. So to recap, we got to return back to the place of time where we were emotionally, mentally, physically. We had to identify what the trigger was, what caused this whole chain event, what caused us to begin to move in the opposite direction. Where did we slip? Where did we make the wrong choice to return back to our old patterns of behavior? And the fourth step is what should we have done? What would have been the better alternative? Using a real-time tool, like I said, reaching out, making a phone call, texting somebody, tapping into some breathing. And then number five, it's a guarantee and commitment to yourself that you will do something differently the next time. So realizing that step one, that returning to that previous state, returning to that previous environment. There will come a time in your life when you're faced with a very similar situation. So the fifth step is the commitment to you coming up with a plan. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to ensure that step four is actually executed upon the next time? What are you going to do that step four is the path that you take, moving in the right direction, staying on the right path as opposed to taking a fork in the road? So that's it, guys. 5 steps to help you identify why you relapsed, to help you get clear on what led you to relapse, and help you understand what you need to do the next time you're faced with the same exact situation. Really hope this video helped you guys. Really hope it spoke to you. If it did, I want you to drop a comment down there below. What's your biggest takeaway from today's video, guys? Let me know. How is this going to help you in the future? How is this going to help you today? And what's one thing you're going to do now removing it from this video? And also, like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, if you're new to the channel and haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, turn those notifications on so you are notified every single time a new video is released. But that's it, guys. Frank Rich from Reboot Recovery, helping you understand why you relapse and what you need to do to prevent it happening again in the future. I'll see you guys on the other side.